Casual here. There was something very satisfying about jumping into a group of elite enemies and beating the crap out of them. Standing toe to toe with the biggest enemies in the game is reserved for tanks, and being able to do so and still finish expeditions in top tier times, well, that is for the lucky few. Well, I guess this is your lucky day. Let's get into it. First, a shout out to Nikolai, who asked for an update of my Devastator Mighty tank on which this build is based. The Devastator skills are all about buffing survivability or debuffing enemies, and not about pure damage output, and that fits perfectly into how you should set up your Devastator tank. I'm running the Seismic Commander gear set with this build for its gear set bonus, which increases the damage against enemies with bleed by 50%, my enemy debuff. I've added to this with Tainted Blood and Bloody Boost to get to a 90% damage increase. This debuff is applied through Earthquake and Endless Mass and the mods Blood Shock and Bleed Them All, as well as your melee skill. On top of this, I'm laying on Mosh Pit, which applies Vulnerable and a further 25% damage boost, and for elites, Captain Hunter. Earthquake can be used twice through the mod Extra Quake and hits across the map thanks to Earth's Legacy, making it easy to apply debuffs to a large number of enemies. The final debuff I'm running is Despair, which doubles anomaly damage to enemies hit by Gravity Leap. To get the most out of these, use Earthquake to apply bleed, Gravity Jump into enemies and then hit them with Claymore Torrent and Shadow Comet, or a Moaning Winds Radiation Splash Nuke. Endless Mass is used to pull enemies together, apply bleed and vulnerable, which sets them up for an easy clear. You could also run the Juggler with Scrap Grenade and Grand Opening depending on your preferred playstyle. I find the Juggler better for single target damage, so elites, while Damascus Offering is great for groups. Your choice though, as they are both great options. The debuff and playstyle drives how your class tree is set up, which starts by going deep into the middle tree to pick up max health, armor, resistance and healing through the awesomely named Overlord of the Battleground, which is what I'll be changing my name to shortly. I don't think it is necessary to pick up Unbroken Vow, Heirloom Armor through the mob, or Into the Fray with this build. I also wouldn't pick up Mighty Tank. Damage comes from the debuffs and weapon mods, not from your skills or weapons, so buffing your anomaly power firepower is not optimal. With bleed being so central to the build, I've gone into the bottom tree to pick up Blood Donation, which overcomes all the shortcomings in the Devastator's healing mechanics. This also allows me to pick up Endless Tremors and Perpetual Motion, as well as the excellent Executioner node. The final layer of my survivability is through Armor Boost. With all of the buffs to armor in my class tree, using Earthquake with this mod easily buffs my armor to over 1 million, and physical damage resistance to the 85% cap. With this damage resistance and healing, face tanking elites is just not a problem. I am running the helmet, chest and legs of the Seismic Commander set, but it is the mods that are important rather than the gear and its stats. Stacking anomaly power does increase the damage of your skills and bleed effects slightly, but this is not where most of your damage will be coming from, so running more max health is definitely an option. Cooldown reduction is important to the build to ensure that your buffs and debuffs are up all the time. Status power debuffs your bleed damage, and so is a good option for your third stat, as is skill life leech. Avoid any damage stats as your weapon damage is minimal with this build. This is a simple build to play, but mastering it will take it to another level. Laying debuffs before using your weapon mods will get the sort of damage and times you're looking for, while also keeping you alive. Gravity Leap adds great mobility to the build, making you as nimble as a trickster on the battleground. Just remember to be aggressive with the build. The more you hit with debuffs, the harder you are to kill. Until next time, Overlord of the Battleground out.